Chad Stubenbort, resident of Monroeville, already signed in. Switching topics a little bit for you guys. So I wanted to talk tonight about the MS4, the Stormwater Management Fee, Tax, whatever we'd like to call it today, that is going to be assessed or proposed. There's a draft available online on Monroeville's website. It talks about an annual cost of $7.5 million, correct?
You want me to answer?
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. In a presentation September 2016, the school district was included in that presentation because we were one of the top 20 individuals affected by this proposed tax or fee. It was stated that $2.5 million would come from the assessed fee. Is that accurate?
Pretty much.
Okay. So we know that 1 mil, right, our tax rate in Monroeville is 4 mils. 1 mil is equivalent approximately to 2.2 mil. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So there's a proposed 25% increase in taxes and fees, whatever we would like to call it. The difference between a fee...
Hold on, Chad. You said there's a proposed...
25% increase. So if 1 mil...
Hold up. You're talking about a stormwater management fee?
Yes, sir.
Council hasn't even discussed that in a while.
It was just very recently added to the municipal website. Obviously, I'm not pulling these numbers from thin air, correct?
It's news to me.
You're talking about, let's clarify, well, first of all, before you go any further, Chad, we have on the agenda this evening, okay, what is a promulgation, an advertisement for a benchmark of the MS4 program. For the benefit of the public, MS4 stands for Municipal Separate Storm Water System, okay? Now, that has nothing to do with a stormwater management fee.
Okay. What I am referring to is the Municipality of Monroeville MS4 Pollution Reduction Plan, June 29th, 2016 draft, which is listed on our website for public view, correct? Mm-hmm. All that information is in there. $7.5 million a year. $2.5 million is going to be assessed by way of a fee.
Not necessarily.
It's proposed.
Nothing's been proposed.
That was not proposed in September 2016.
Council has discussed that. I mean, I think the word proposed is a little premature. Okay. So I'm not saying Council's not going to do it. I'm not saying Council is going to do it.
Okay. Let me reframe my question.
Well, let me just finish. You're giving the impression that Council has legislation or an ordinance about to be. They're discussing, like we are with the seismic testing, and that's not the case. I just wanted to make the public clear on that.
Very good. The school district was contacted in September 2016.
That is correct.
And we were told that there was, if this goes through, and actually it's in the PowerPoint that says as early as January 1st of 2017.
The council has not discussed it any further.
Okay. But now, very, very recently, it's now been posted online. It leads me to believe that there's probably going to be action and a discussion on this topic. Correct? Why else would we just randomly throw it online?
It's a compliance issue with the MS4, with the...
Chad,
Mr.
what are you
Hughes could
speaking
clarify.
of that's online?
I think it's 30, 40-page document.
Pollution Control and Reduction.
Yes.
Which is the Pollution Reduction Plan.
Correct.
Okay, let's back up. Let's all back up. The municipality currently operates under an MS4 permit. Tim explained to you what an MS4 permit is.
Correct.
We've been operating under that permit for multiple years. The municipality of Monroeville, as well as everybody across the Commonwealth, has to apply for another permit. Part of the permit requirements is everybody across the Commonwealth has to prepare a pollution reduction plan, which is online.
Correct.
Okay. The DEP requires every municipality to come up with a plan to have a 10% reduction in pollutants. The DEP has given everybody the same number to use as a benchmark for their pollution reduction plan of 10%. They have to reduce by 10%. And they also tell you to use the figure of, read it up for you. This comes from the DEP because everybody had the same question. $47 per pound of sediment removed is what the DEP tells you to use. Okay. Now, for the municipality of Monroeville, that comes out to $7.5 million per year.
Over 5
Now,
years.
everybody across the Commonwealth has to use the same figures,
Okay,
okay? And those are all proposed,
very good.
okay?
Appreciate that, Paul.
So what you're looking at online is the pollution reduction plan. It is not the plan that was talked about last year. Two separate items, two separate things. We're not talking about a fee, we're just talking about something that we have to do because we have to make a new application to get a new MS4 permit.
Okay.
Each year, am I not correct?
I'm sorry?
Each year?
No. The permits are good for 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, so I agree with everything that was just said.
Okay.
On page 8 of the document, though, it states that it would be $7.5 million a year for 5 years,
That's correct.
which you just affirmed. In there, it says that this will be met by, let's see here, partnerships, sponsorships, and grant funding. Correct? So $7.5 million, that's a large amount of money. Our budget's, what, $30 million. The fee, whether we're going to discuss it tonight or not, whether you're going to enact it or not, it's definitely been discussed. It's definitely on the table for discussion. Maybe not at this very meeting, but it's so far back as 2016, right? I've been told up here many times that's not a tax, it's a fee. Look at Mount Lebanon, they've been doing it now for 7 years almost. So we're a little bit behind other municipalities, but a fee has definitely been discussed, and a hefty fee, $2.5 million. Tim just attested to that. If a fee, so regardless if we're going to pass or not, I'm not sitting up here saying it's going to be passed, but I am sitting up here telling you, if we do pass a fee like that, that is going to, Greg, I'll read actually, I think you said it best, what it would do to a community. So on your Facebook page in May of 2014, you said to all my friends on Facebook who know people that live in Monroeville, please resend this message to everyone on your friend list. I'm asking you all to please vote no on the Monroeville library tax. The reasons being, let's see here, this tax surely will hurt our seniors who are on fixed incomes. This tax will hurt all of our working families who are having a hard time just to make ends meet. If a family wanted to either buy or sell a home in Monroeville, this tax would hinder them as well. This tax is also a job and business killer, as I have spoken to many business owners who may either have to downsize their business or leave Monroeville. Any new business would pass or even consider moving into Monroeville, since this tax would bring the total millage rate up to 5 mills. As a supporter of the library, please vote no and let your independent voters know they can vote as well. So I think you very, very accurately described what crippling effects could be if the millage rate was raised to 4, or was raised from 4 to 5. Being that, we started at 1.8 before the reassessment. So we went from 1.8 to 4, and then you decided, very accurately, I believe, depicted what could happen if the millage rate went up to 5. All I'm here tonight to say is, please very, very strongly consider looking at an alternative method. Because we can debate whether it's a fee, whether it's a tax, right? The difference is, if it's a fee, everyone is assessed the fee. So we're not just getting taxed once now, we're getting taxed 5 times, right? The individuals, property owners are getting taxed. The mall is paying $179,000, so cost of goods is going to go up because rent's going to go up, and they're already at like 40% vacancy, so it's not good for business. But cost of goods is going to go up. So that's
Well, what do you suggest?
let me finish, please. The municipality themselves, you guys, are being assessed, at least in 2016, $82,000. You guys don't print money, right? You get money from the taxpayers. So, of course, we either cut services or we raise taxes like we've done previously. And then, fifth, our places of worship have to pay into this, right? In the presentation, North American Martyrs was stated at $7,296. So that's more money that people have to take out of their coffers and put into the churches in order to pay for this fee.
What's your point, Chad, on this?
My point is, this is more detrimental than a 1 mil tax increase. This is $2.5 million when 1 mil is 2.2. So you very accurately described what happens when you raise the millage rate up to 5, which I completely agree with you. Mount Lebanon, who, Ron, you've told me before, look at Mount Lebanon. They have a great website. It explains it very, very well. They've been doing this for going on 7 years now. So we're kicking the can down the road. Now we're saying it's not even up for discussion. We're just going to post it online randomly, and we're not going to discuss how we're going to pay for implementing the program.
Understand there's numerous ways to take care of the federal mandate. There's been boroughs that have been fined already over $300,000 for not staying up to date on this mandate. What you heard there in one of our presentations, as you so accurately read, was one of the ideas, Mount Lebanon. Doesn't mean that's the end of the deal. That was one of the ideas.
Exactly, and that's why I'm here today, to urge you guys to look at other options available.
Well, I think we did do that. You know, we've had some discussion on different, venues.
We've had meetings, we've had public meetings.
What you have to
We've had
understand is that's a state and federal mandate.
Absolutely, I'm not debating the mandate. Trust me, I understand that the school district, the municipalities, government,
Wait till
across the
you see
board.
asking us
wait
to
till you
do
see
then,
what the
Chad?
DEP does to your sewer bills
I-
in the
Oh.
near future.
I'm well aware. All I'm asking you to do is reconsider this blanket fee that is going to affect our churches, that is going to affect the mall. I mean, the mall, you guys all have been to the mall, in the past year or so. It's definitely not what it was 5
You
years
know
ago.
where that fee is? Look how much rainwater comes off the mall into our stormwater. We have to pay for that. They don't pay for that. The residents, the taxpayers all pay for that.
It's a lot of ask.
When all their stormwater comes off the mall, comes off Gateway High School and comes off Minerva Number 5 Fire Company, the taxpayers pay for those lines. And the
Yes.
feds are saying enough is enough, time for everybody to
I
ante
agree,
up.
and there's great information in that proposal. There's information, right now we do street sweeping twice a year. Right, the city does it twice a week, and this proposal is to do it, I think, 24 times a year, if I remember accurately. So there's other ways to look at reducing the waste that goes into the stormwater management. All I'm asking is that you guys please
What
consider...
other ways? I mean, you seem to know. Well, tell us. 'Cause
any-
we're looking.
Greg, any proposal I've brought to this council has fallen upon deaf ears. I think that is well documented and well noted.
That's not true, Chad.
I think we just intervened there on the street sweeping thing. I mean, that's twice a year in the fall and after the winter use, but that machine runs practically daily.
I'm just going
Just
to
so you understand,
the information on that.
I mean, that's for the fall
Very good.
leaves and the
I
winter
appreciate
cleanup.
your time. I just hope that you guys reconsider and look into that. Thank you.
And the microphone is open.